I'm Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville, and continuing our coverage of the women's quarterfinals at the ODAC tournament here at Salem, Virginia in the Salem Civic Center. I'm joined by Carroll LaHaye from Randolph-Macon, who got a big win, though a hard-fought win today against Bridgewater, moving on to the semifinals. That game looked at one moment like you had control, and then a couple moments later, Bridgewater was right back in it and ended up being a nip-and-tuck game at the end.
Well, I think as a coach, I never thought that we had the game under control. With our young team, I think sometimes when they get a 10-point lead, they say, oh, whew, finally. Yeah. But I didn't think that we ever really ran away from Bridgewater. They battled us, and we knew that they would battle us. They're a very, very good team and well coached, and they hit some big threes that really kept them in the game.
I was going to say they hit a couple early on in the game. They hit some in the middle. Of course, hit one near the end that really made things interesting. When you look at the shooting percentages, everybody shot well. Everybody shot well from the free throw line. It seemed, and it was a high-scoring game. I mean, both teams over 80 points, 90 points for you guys. How tough is that when you look at a game like that, and it's as much as you're trying to play really good defense, the other team's just shooting just very nice?
Well, we're a team not known for our defense, and we do average about 88 points a game. So we want the game to be that high scoring. But the thing that I was most disappointed in is the fact that we really let them stay in the game with 91 points. I mean, they don't average 91 points, but because we let them. They were right there with us. But, I mean, it's not unusual for us to score that many points, and we feel like we have to score that many points to win because our defense is not as great as it should be.
It was like 4-on-4 basketball out there. They had 3 players with 20 points plus and another one in double figures. You guys had 3 players with 20 points plus one in double figures. Does that change the dynamic a little bit when everybody seems to have certain key players despite you going to the bench, despite other players being on the court?
Well, I think these types of games are what the kids, that's what they do nowadays, and that's the kind of ball that they want to play. And, you know, I said at the beginning of the year I didn't want to stifle my team, and so as bad a defense as we are playing at this particular time, they want to play that, and they're exciting and they do well with that. It's just that we let Bridgewater do that, but they apparently like to do that as well. So it was a great game, I guess, for a fan to sit there and watch, because we put some points on the board.
Katie Anderson, her 12th double-double, and it wasn't close. I think 21 and 14. How key has she been for this team, especially the youth you talk about?
Oh my goodness, Katie is a key player for us. Without her, I mean, she's very, very athletic, and she can put the ball in the basket. She wants the ball in her hands, and sometimes we have to remind her to rebound. I think she could do even better as a rebounder, but she does what she needs to do for us to win, and I'm glad she's on my team.
Looking at it now, you're in the semifinals. You guys are in a tough spot regionally ranked along with Eastern Mennonite. Both teams really need to keep winning. Both teams had tough games here in the quarterfinals. Do you feel any comfort that you can make the NCAA tournament if you don't win this conference tournament?
Well, I really don't, and quite frankly, we have not really shared our regional rankings with the team, and I'm not sure that they even know that we're regionally ranked. I've been coaching long enough to know that basically we have to win the conference championship in order to go on. It would be nice to get in that large bid. I believe we deserve it. I think our strength of schedule has been outstanding. You know, beating Christopher, Newport, Marymount, and some of those key, big-time schools in the beginning of the season has helped boost us. But we're going to just try to beat our next opponent and maybe get to the championship game, and maybe that'll give the regional ranking committee a chance to take a look at us.
Seems like the women's side of the ODAC has been on the verge of becoming like what the men have become, and just a very deep, challenging, one of the top conferences in the country. Always a couple good teams at the top. The middle's always been kind of a little subpar. The middle seems to have risen to the occasion a little bit more. There seems to be more parity. What does this conference need next to really kind of maybe take that step?
Well, we need everybody. I mean, there are 12 schools in our conference, and there was a time just a year or so ago when I thought that we had really reached where our men's programs are. But we've kind of taken a step back in a couple areas. But we need to continue to build, and we've got some great young coaches in our conference, and they need to continue to recruit and keep us challenged every game.
I was going to say that the conference has changed quite a bit. Shenandoah coming in has certainly changed the dynamic. You talk about young coaches. Seacal Calhoun is one of those. Where do you, when you look at what you have in the next year, in the next 2 years, is Randolph-Macon with this youth going to be able to stay right on top of the conference?
I would like to believe so.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we do that. But it is nice to know that I've got some returning players, and as long as they stay healthy and all of that, we should be competitive. But you know, the conference, I think a lot of the conference awards last night were youth, so it'll be tough. Well,
congratulations on the win and getting to the semifinals. Looking forward to seeing how you guys do the rest of the way.
Thanks very much, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have more from Salem throughout the weekend.